This call is now being recorded. Good morning, friends. Today we are going to take up a topic on how to file income tax returns for the assessment year 2020-21. So our topic is how to file income tax returns online. Okay, and the website which is used for filing of income tax returns is cleartax.in. Okay, this is the website which I am using for demonstrating how to uh, submit your income tax returns online. So first and foremost, I have opened the website cleartax.in. Hope you are able to see this. Okay, I have increased the font size. Okay, so the first step is you have to go into the website cleartax.in. Number one. Number two, you should have a account in cleartax.in, or if you are for the first time using or utilizing the services of cleartax.in, then you have to open a new account. You have to sign up for of my income tax return for quite a number of years, like almost uh, 6 7 years. Okay, my reward. Just a moment. So you will go to the website. You will be uh, navigating into my tax returns. You are going to file your income tax returns. Uh, Ramesh Kumar Mehta. So I am going to fill a new. I am going to submit online income tax returns for one of my fellow colleague, and he is Mr. Okay, I will Premchandra Chaudhary. Okay, so continue e-filing. Continue e-filing. Do you then the first question that will be asked is, do you have a Form 16 PDF? Do you have a Form 15 PDF, or do you want to upload a Form 16 PDF? Okay, or you don't have Form 16 PDF. Okay, so I will use today. I don't have Form 16 PDF and continue. Here I will click on continue here. I will continue here. So I will click on continue here, and it will go to the next page. Today I suppose, okay. So if it will go into the next page, and you can see there are a lot of informations which you have to fill, and if you are able to view, you will be asked to fill 1 2 3 4 5 informations. One is personal information, one is income sources, one is deductions, number two is tax paid, and number five is tax filing. Okay, so so we have five data to be filled. Okay, and let's move and click uh, some the tab personal information. Personal information. So I've clicked on it. So the assessee is supposed to supposed to supposed to fill his personal information, and you can see what are the personal informations which are asked to be provided. So you have to enter your first name, your middle name, your last name. So first name you have to enter, you have to enter the middle name, you have to enter the last name, last name. You have to enter the gender, and you have to enter the date of birth. Okay, and you have to furnish details relating to your PAN card, as you are able to see PAN card details, father's name, father's name, and marital status, whether you are married or not. So this is not that important, but providing your name is very important, uh, and your date of birth and PAN card details are very important, because uh, see, once you have completed your online uh, once you have completed your online submission of income tax returns, all this data will be connected to the government of India portal. Okay, so for that reason you have to, and you have to precisely give your name. Okay, so, and this name is in accordance with your PAN card number. Whatever is there on the PAN card number, you have to furnish that data, and the name should connect with the PAN card name details, which is again connected to our income tax portal. Okay, so this should be very, very accurate. This first name, second middle name, and last name. So this is the importance. Number one, male or female, because this is also, I suppose, is mentioned on on this is also, I suppose, is mentioned on on uh, the Aadhaar card, and even you have to furnish your date of birth. For example, what is the relevance of your date of birth? The relevance of your date of birth is, see, the tax slabs which are structured are going to be calculated in accordance with your age. For example, below 60, greater than 60 years, and less than 80 years, and greater than 80 years. So you have different slabs or tax structures for different age groups. So you have to precisely give your accurately give your date of birth, which will help you to calculate your income tax liability. You have to give your PAN card, because this PAN card details are there on our income tax website, and you have to furnish your father's name and marital status. So this is the first part of your data, which should be furnished online on cleartax.in, and then you have to click save. So personal information again consists of two. One is personal information and address. So personal information, just now we have entered, that is the name, the PAN card details, the age, the marital status, father's name, and so on and so forth. Now personal information, we have to give address details. Address, where is the address of this assessee? So you will be asked to furnish the flat number, the door number, the premise name, means the building name, the street, the pin code of your place, of the place where you are residing, the area and locality, the town in which you are residing, the state, and the country. And you have to provide your phone number, and your email address, and a secondary email address. So you should be having all these things. You should have all these things, because once you submit your um, income tax returns, once you submit your income tax returns, you will get a mail. You will get a mail. That's the reason it's very important. That's the reason it's very important. So hope this is also clear. Hope this is also clear. So this detail should be furnished. Next one, let's see the other details. And then you have to every stage, every page, once you have entered the data, ensure that you can navigate only on the condition that you save the data which you have filled. Okay, so I will just now save this one also. So save it. So once you have saved, then it's okay. You are save it. Then you will be asked to furnish some more data. No, no. Now you are entering the data related to income sources. So we have seen there are five sources: income, salary income, house property income, business income, professional income, income from other source, and capital gains. So the system NRC has to fill all the incomes from all the sources of income, whether it is salary income and other aspects. So the first income source is your salary income. So salary income details should be entered here. So let's see one by one what are the details need to be furnished under salary. The first one is the name of the employer. The name of the employer. Okay, the name of the employer is the company where you are working. Number two, employer type. Now you can click on employer type and you get five different categories of employer: private employee, public sector employee, central government employee, state government employee, or a pensioner. Okay, so pensioner also falls under the category of salary. Okay, so this is the first, second step. Third step, salary information. What are the emoluments which you have received during the financial year? Please remember our financial year, which I am dealing currently, is 2019-20, and assessment year is 2021. Okay, so this is very, very important. Now onwards, the data what you are entering should be accurate and correct. Okay, even though you can subsequently change it, but don't take that risk. Okay, so you have to furnish all those details. So first information is salary as per section 17(1), subsection 1. Next one is value of perquisites. Value of perquisites under section 17(2). Profits in lieu of salary under section 17 subsection 3. Okay, so from where are you going to get these details? Whether section 17(1), section 17 subsection 2, section 17 subsection 3. Number two, exempt allowances under section 10. What some allowances are exempted from tax. So if you are being given as a part of your salary such exempted allowances, so you have to enter those data. So let's see the first one. The first one is the salary. Okay, so what is the figure what you have to enter here? Gross salary. So if you don't have any idea, then the website has a ready-made uh, reckoner for your purpose. So just click on this read for more. You get an idea about it. You get an idea about it. So so it is telling that this data is there in your form 16. This data is there in your form 16. So let's see. So click for sample. Click to see the sample. See the sample. Okay. So it is now downloading the sample what they have. Now see the any employee who is working at the end of the year, or on the completion of a financial year, within a specified period of time, the employer is going to provide form 16. Now form 16 will be provided by the employer to the employee, and form 16 will show you what are the uh, uh, what are the components of salary, what are the emoluments of salary, how much tax was deducted, how much tax, the tax deducted at source, when what the dates they were deposited in the concerned department, and all that stuff. Okay, and this particular form 16, which is prepared by the employer, there is a model for it, and this what do you call, it's a one which has to be followed by every employer. So the format is uh, gross salary, salary as per provisions contained in subsection 1 of 17 section 17 subsection 2. All this is the fashion which has to be followed, and this is prescribed by income tax department. Okay, so you need not worry about the details, because form 16 will contain all the details, and these details are just to be entered on the website or the portal cleartax.in during the time while you are filing online your income tax return. So here salary as per provisions contained in 17 1, 8 lakhs 95,212. Value of the perquisites 80,000. Profits in you 1 lakh 32,000. So you add all this, you will get 11 lakhs. So this will be there in your form 16 also. Okay, less allowances. So whatever is there on the website of cleartax.in, the same will be there on form 16. So just enter the details. So I will just enter some details which are only which have been taken for illustration purpose. It's not an uh, income of any individual. So 10 lakhs I'm considering as income from salary under section 17(1). Value of the perquisites, if I take some value of the perquisites, it's 2.5 lakhs. Profit in lieu of salary, some 50,000 rupees. So till so far he has earned how much? 13 lakh rupees. So you need not enter this. This will be automatically calculated. 10 lakhs plus 2.5 lakhs minus 50,000. And now if there are some allowances which are exempted under section 10, you have to enter those details, and this also will be there in your form 16. Need not worry. For example, here I will enter some 16,000 rupees. So this will be deducted from 1 lakh 30,000. So you will get 2 lakhs 84,000. So you got it. No, so we have seen so far some in numerical information which you are supposed to uh, uh, in, to fill as far as salaries are concerned. Now, there are certain deductions further, like under section 16, standard deduction. You get a standard deduction of 50,000 rupees, and this standard deduction are in line with the financial year. So every financial year they pronounce or announce the standard deduction, and hope so. The standard deduction for assessment year 2021 is, to my knowledge, 50,000 rupees. But you can check, or even or this also, this data also will be there in the form 16 provided by the employer to the employee. Next one. So enter those details of 50,000 rupees. Professional tax. If any professional tax has been deducted and it is shown, it's appearing on the form 16, enter that data, and assuming it is 2,500. So from 12 lakhs 84,000, you deduct 52,500, you will get 12 lakhs 31,500. 12 lakhs 31,500. So this is about the salary part. Now, see this particular tentative example which I have taken is showing that the income is income from salary till so far is 12 lakhs 31,500. 12 lakhs 31,500. So such a huge income is having. So certainly there will be, the employer has deducted uh, tax at source every month, and that whatever amount has been deducted as tax at source will be deposited in the concerned department, income tax department. So it is credited to the employee's account. That much of tax has been already deducted. So if you want to find out how much tax has been deducted from your account during this, from your salary, from by the employer during the financial year 2019-20, or any financial year, it is there. This information will be available even in the form 16 provided by the employer to the employees. So need not worry about it. So if you want to see where exactly the TDS is there, then look at this. I'm clicking on click to see the sample of how much tax is being deducted at source on salary. Click on this. So I've clicked on this. I've clicked on this, and so here you will be you are shown form 16 on the top. It is written form 16 part A. The one which was discussed before this was part B. Now this is part A. So part A has lot of information: name and address of the employer, name and address of the employee, name of the employer who is deducting the tax, sorry, PAN of the deductor. The person who is deducting is none other than your employer. His PAN number will be this PAN number will be there on the form 16. TAN of the deductor, that is the employer. PAN of the employee, PAN of the employee, and employee reference number, and so on and so forth. Which assessment year the TDS information is relating to, that information is there. Period with the employer, from that is which financial year. So it's from 1st April 2013 to 31st March 2014. This is the financial year whose assessment year is 2014-15. So financial year is 13-14, assessment year is 14-15. Number two. Number three, Commissioner of Income Tax of TDS, that address also is there. So here now this is very important and vital information. So quarter one, that is May, April, May, June, July, August, September, quarter two, October, November, December, quarter three, January, February, March, quarter four. How much was tax deducted at source from your salary? So this particular column will tell you how much was the tax deducted at source. So please ignore this one, because this is of all the employees whose amount was deducted and deposited, and this is about your TDS information. So 7,814, for example, so on and so forth. So total they have deducted and deposited in at the Commissioner of Income Tax 55,091 rupees. So this kind of information will also be there uh, on the form 16. So need not worry about it. So after you got to know the amount which was deducted at source, just enter those details. So for example, from this example, I am taking 50,000 rupees was the tax deducted at source in case of this particular example, and then enter manually the TAN number. So TAN of the employer already I showed you. So again, if you are having any doubts of the PAN of the employer, so go to form 16. If you go to form 16, you will come to know the TAN number of the employer. So here you can look, this is the TAN number of the employer, something like this. Okay, so all the information is available in form 16. So once you have entered manually the TAN of the employer, the time is now to save whatever data you have confidently entered. Save it. So you have saved it. So so now you have completed this part, which is salary part. Now we have to enter B part of income from other source. So please remember, we are under the head income sources. So income sources are five: salary income, income from other source, house property income, capital gains, and income from business. Okay, so there is there in that income from house property. So now we are entering data of income from other source. So if you don't know income from other source, I have prepared a separate video on income from other source, and I have uploaded them on my YouTube channel. You can just go and view my videos on this subject, and I hope you will get a lot of information which would be useful for your study purpose, as well as that will be immensely helpful in entering in submitting your income tax returns online on this portal. So Now we are entering data of income from other source. So let's look at income from other source. What are the tabs and what information has to be provided? So here interest income from savings bank. So if an assessee is having savings account in various banks and he has a lot of bank balances on a monthly or quarterly basis, on these balances, the bank will credit interest. So he has to manually open the bank passbook and look at the interest which have been credited to his savings account and aggregate it and total it and enter this data. So for example, here, for example, he's having some savings account in 5 6 banks and he has found out that 15,000 rupees was from interest income from savings bank. Number two, number one. Number two, subsequently, you have to enter interest income from deposit. So if the assessee has deposited some amount in fixed deposit of a bank or post office fixed deposits, okay, you have to enter all this data. Now here you got three dots. Let's see what are those dots. Here also you got three dots. Okay, so I will just click and see what is this. So here, for example, this guy is having State Bank of India account in State Bank of India, and State Bank of India provided him some 10,000 rupees credit to his savings account. Add more items. He got ICICI Bank account in ICICI Bank, and during the whole year he earned 5,000 rupees. So that narration also can be entered. So this 10,000 plus 5,000 is equal to this 15,000 rupees. Now interest income from deposits. So we say, supposing that he has invested in some money in fixed deposits of some banks like ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, so on and so forth, or post office fixed deposits. So you have to specify, the SSC has to mention or furnish all the data. So you got three clicks dots here. You just click on it. For example, ICICI Bank fixed deposit. ICICI Bank fixed deposit. Just to remember the narration. Okay, deposit. So ICICI Bank. So if you have some more information, what you have to do, you have to enter the data, how much he has got interest on ICICI Bank. So for example, 50,000. And if you want to know more, like for example, State Bank of India deposited in a fixed deposit and he got some 1,000 rupees. Next, you want to add some more like of fixed deposits, and he earned some 1,500 rupees. Now total is this will not be automatically calculated. You have to do it manually, and whatever is the total, you have to enter this data here. So 1,50,000 and 2,75,000 is the total income from interest on bank deposits. So you have entered it. Click here to add any other interest income, interest from bonds, interest from tax refund. So if you have anything to do with this data, you can enter this. Hope I will ignore it and just move to the next one. Now, what is the next one? Other income. What is this other income? See, there are 5 sources of income: salary income, house property income, capital gains, and business and profession. And the last one is income from other sources. If a particular transaction or item doesn't fall under these 4 categories, automatically it will fall under the 5th category, income from other source. So that data has to be provided here. Okay, so you can, if you can click here, okay, you can give narration also. Just for example, somebody has gifted you, for example, gifts received from unknown people, some 1.5 lakhs gift. So this has to be entered. Okay, so I'm just showing you. Okay, and now down again, some more information you have to provide. To dividend income from domestic companies. So if This assessee has invested in shares of listed companies or unlisted companies, and these companies are paying dividend. That dividend income should be entered. For example, HPCL, BPCL, IOC, Reliance Industries. So all the dividends which has been paid and received and credited to the bank account of the assessee should be totaled and entered here. So from where the information will the assessee will get as far as dividend income is concerned, the dividend income will be deposited to the credit of the will be deposited to the savings bank account of the assessee if the assessee is an individual. So you have to extract that information from the passbook or bank account. So for example, in this case, he has got 15 lakh rupees as an income. So I'll enter 15 lakh. Number one. Number two, dividend from mutual funds. If he has invested in mutual funds and into dividend, and this mutual fund schemes have declared dividend and paid, and it is credited to the account. So all these mutual funds which have declared dividend income, that data should be furnished here. So for example, 2 lakh, 22.5 lakh rupees. Okay. Any interest from PPF, if this guy uh, has a PPF account, and in this PPF account he has deposited, if he has earned any other any interest on that PPF account, he has to enter this data. I will skip this one. And any other exempt income, if there is any other income exempt under this head, you have to just furnish it. So if this guy is having any agriculture income, that agriculture income data also can be furnished. Okay, so I will just ignore it and then click on save. So now we have completed two sources of income. One is salary income and other one is the other one is income from other source. Income from other source. Now let's take up the third source of income, that is income from house property. So any income from the head, under the head income from house property, you have to furnish all the details under this head, income from house property. So okay, for example, rental income from house property is an income that should be provided. Number one. Number two. Number two is, let's see what data has to be furnished. In case, so if you look at the details, if you look at the details, in case you paid interest on housing loan, okay, in case you paid interest on housing loan for house property you live in, self-occupied house property, or you own a house and are earning rent on it, then specify the details here. So if there is a self-occupied house property on which you're paying interest on housing loan, that loan which you have taken some years back, and you are still paying the interest for the current year also, you have paid it, or any other house which you have let out and you are earning rental income, and that house also for the construction or purchase of the house property you have taken loan. So you have to provide all these details here. I will just ignore this one. Okay, I'll just ignore this part. So click here to add house property details. So you will be navigating into the next uh, page, which is you are going to furnish house property details. Now what details you have to provide? House property details. Okay, type of house property. What is the type of house property? Now the type of house property can be, as I told you, it is a self-occupied house property. It can be a rental house, rental property, or deemed to be a let out property. So please remember again, I have prepared uh, videos on these topics also, and I've done some numerical problems, and even I covered the theoretical part, and all my videos are there on the on YouTube. You can watch these videos and Hope this videos will provide information relating to house property. So here I will just take one of them, self-occupied house property. Means this guy is having house property which is self-occupied. Okay, so there is no rental income, and on top of it, this guy is paying interest because this guy is the owner of the house property, and the house property was purchased or constructed, and for the purchase or construction of the house property he has taken loan, and on this loan here he is paying interest for the financial year previously, this year as well as in the future also. So how much is exempt, how much you can show as deduction? See, remember, for a self-occupied house property you can show maximum of 2 lakh rupees as interest, even though you might have paid more than that. So maximum limit is 2 lakh rupees. So here I will enter 2 lakh rupees. You can enter 2.5 lakh also, but the software will take only 2 lakh rupees because you have shown here self-occupied house property. So despite that, I have shown 2.5 lakh rupees, and see what will happen at the end. Do you have any pre-construction period interest? Okay, if anything of that kind is there, then enter it. So I will enter some 30,000 rupees. So please remember, this plus 2.5 lakh 2 lakh rupees is 2 lakhs 80,000. So maximum will be 2 lakhs. Now you have to provide details. Where is the house property? So if you remember, under the head personal information, you had given you are given address details of your house. So you are this particular software is asking, are the same details should be extracted and taken here, that as that of the one you have furnished at the time of furnishing the personal information, and you click yes, click on right, you will get the same data what you have entered in your personal information. So I have done so. Now any co-owner is there in this particular house property. For example, your wife, the assessee as well as the spouse are the co-owners. So any co-owner is there, you can enter those details. So the reason why you have to furnish uh, your co-owner's details depends upon if the co-owner also is an guy who is earning income, she or he can even claim to that extent. So in this case, I will tell 100%. 100% is there is no co-owner. Okay, there is no co-owner. In this case, the property is jointly owned. We specify co-owners. So name of the co-owner is. So I have given only one owner, the assessee, and he is having 100% claim on the house property. So I will just ignore this, and then I will save the data. If you have any more house properties, you can add. If you have any more house properties, you can keep on adding, save and add another house property. So this also you have, you can do so. Okay. So I'm ignoring it. So I'm ignoring it and then save. So it is asking you have any other house property. I will delete it. Okay. I will delete it. It is asking confirm? Yes, I don't have a house property. Confirm it. Okay. Then it is ask next we have completed salary income, income from other source, income from house property. Now we have to enter the details of the last two income sources. The last two income sources. One is capital gains and one is business and professional income. So if you don't have an idea about what is capital gains and what is business and professional income, again, please wish to share with you. I have a lot of videos on these two topics, capital gains and profits and gains from business or profession. You can visit my website, sorry, my YouTube channel, and you can download these videos and you can view it. So now I will go to, after completing the details of house property, I will go to next. I will click on go to next. Go to next. Okay. So here, if you have sold any capital assets during the year, like equity shares or any property or house or a land and building during the financial year April 2019 to 31st March 2020, all these details has to be compulsorily be provided. So I will click here. If you click here, so you have to click here if you have sold any asset. So I have clicked it. I have clicked it. Okay, and then I will now I will take one example of shares and one example of land, and we will complete it. So shares. Yes, I have sold some shares. Okay, now look what is the data it is asking for. Now again, shares what you have sold are of two types. One is a short-term capital asset and one is long-term capital asset. So short-term, as far as shares is concerned, within 12 months. Long-term is concerned is of more than 12 months from the data of acquisition. And where from you are going to get this data of how much capital gains you have earned. You can ask your stockbroker to furnish these details, and you will be highly obliged to furnish. Okay, so from the data what you got from your stockbroker, just keep on entering it. So let's enter one. So what data it is asking? Type of shares. So I will click on type of shares: listed securities, non-listed securities, listed debentures, and non-listed debentures. So it is divided to four parts. I will click on listed securities, like for example Infosys, Satyam, Wipro, and you have to furnish the data related to when did you purchase these shares and when did you sell these shares. Okay, so I sold it on, for example, 23 2020, and I purchased it on 14 to 2020. So this is within 1 month I have sold from the date of purchase. So this is a short term capital gain. Okay, so I've clicked it. Now it is asking some more, like what is that you sold. It is for example, I have sold shares of HPCL. At what price you have bought? 2,14,970. Okay, for example, what price you have sold. Any brokering charges? Okay, I will tell it is 200 rupees. Okay, 200 rupees. And what is the purchase price? I will just insert 2,03,330. So there is a short term capital gain of 10,000 rupees. Same. Now it will ask you, do you now look at this? There is a summary here. Hope you are able to see this. There is a summary here. The summary is what is a short term capital gain and what is a long term capital gain. Okay. So after you have completed this, if you want to drag down, drag the page down, and here you will see if you want to add some more. Okay, I will add one more: shares and debentures. Okay, now I am going to enter details of a long-term capital asset which is sold after 12 months. Okay, so for example, I have sold it on 23 2020 and I have purchased it on 9/5 2017. So 3 years. These shares were sold from the date of acquisition 3 years later. So it's a long-term capital asset. So then click on save. So now let's see what the data it is asking. You have to enter the ISNI code. So for example, in this case, I have sold Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited 3 years later from the date of purchase. So just type randomly Hindustan Petroleum. Okay, petroleum. So automatically you will get from the list, and just click it. How many shares you have sold? For example, 2,000 shares. What price? For example, 202 rupees I have sold. Okay. So already you have entered on what date you have sold. Okay, don't worry. And what date you have purchased it. So 2,000 shares were sold at 202 rupees. So the total sales value was 4 lakhs. It is asking you one more very important information, which is what is the fair market value of this share on 31st January 2018. Now, from where you are going to get these details? These details are available on moneycontrol.com. Okay, and there is a way to get the data of the fair market value of this share on 31st January 2018. Now, I have taken it as 345, for example. So, the fair market value is 2,000 shares into 345 is 6,90,000. Transfer expenses, I will say okay, 2,000 rupees, for example. And purchase price. Now what price, at what price you purchased it? How many shares you purchased? 2,000 shares. When did you purchase? On 9/5/2017. So you might have a contract note. In that contract note, you will come to know at what price you were purchased. For example, I purchased it at 3 lakh rupees. So after you enter the data, just it will ask you, did you pay STTT? Yes, I have paid STTT. If you have paid, if not, then click just unclick it. So click it. Did you make any investment under section 54F? We will just disregard for the time being, and I will click save. So now look how beautifully the software is calculating what was the short-term capital gain, what is the long-term capital gain, and please look here. Uh, I have a topic. I have covered a topic: set off and carry forward of losses. Set off and carry forward of losses. So the long-term capital loss of 2000 rupees was is set off against short-term capital gain of 11,740, and the total income is 9,740 as far as capital gains is concerned. So I have taken a small example for demonstrating. Now let's take one more asset. Okay, I will just take one more asset and click land and building. So what date you have purchased? Purchased on 2002. Okay, the tentative date. What is the sorry, date of sale is 2020. What is the date of purchase? 2006. Okay, so 14 years means it is a long term capital asset. Save. Date of sale is there. Sale of a house property. House property. What is the total sale price? Some, for example, 50 lakh rupees. Number two. Just we will ignore this. And what is the purchase price? 1 lakh rupees. And then I will ignore all these 54 EC 54. I've just sold it. Okay. Pin code 515001, something like this. Cities, Bangalore. Okay. And then Bangalore is in Karnataka. Okay. And then so on and so forth. Okay. What this data and save it. Okay. And save it. If you have entered the data, it will calculate, otherwise it will not calculate. So this data is very, very important. It is telling that you have to, for example, I will say it is 51 lakh rupees. Okay, and then save it. So now even I have dealt with income from capital gains. Now the last source of income, income from business or profession. Income from business or profession. If the assessee is having some income from as a business or profession, then you have to enter those details. Let's see what I can do. Add income from business. I have clicked on it. So it's looking very big, so I will ignore it, and I will go and click on go to next. Go to next. So we have entered all the sources of income, and business income it's zero, so I will just discard it. Now personal information you have done. You have entered data related to income from other source. Income from other source. Now you have to enter any deductions you are eligible for under section 80. So I have dealt with it. I have taken up a topic. I have uploaded some videos on section 80C. So if you have anything, if you want to get some more information on section 80, you can just view my videos on section 80. And section 80, we have a lot of investment avenues where you can invest, and you will be eligible for certain deductions under 80, that is from 80C to 80U, from 80C to 80U. And please remember, I have already got a I have prepared some uh, videos on section 80C to 80U, and exclusively there is a video on section 80C, and one more video I have recorded and uploaded on YouTube on section 80C to 80U. You can view for a lot of information. A lot of information. Hope this is okay. Now next one. So let's take up our discussion further and enter data under section 80C. So section 80C, the maximum amount you can invest is there is a unlimited amount you can invest, but how much you can claim? You can claim to the maximum of only 1,50,000 rupees. 1,50,000 rupees. So enter this 1,50,000 rupees. Even if you enter 2.5 lakhs, the software will take only 1.5 lakhs. Sorry. Now uh, we have entered some data. If you look here, income from other source, I will go to income from other source. So at that time, other income, if you look at other income, we have entered interest income as 15,000 rupees. Okay. And this has 2,75,000. So 2,75,000 plus 15,000 minus 10,000, something like that. Okay. I will show you. So this data will automatically come under deductions. Okay. So interest earned from bank deposits is 5,80,000. Okay. So if you remember, okay, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs, just a moment. Okay. Even, okay. Income from other source, income from other source. Let's see 18,000, 15,000, sorry, 2,75,000. And here 1,50,000. So all this, all this, let's see how much it is. 2,75,000. Total value is 5.5 lakhs. Okay, total value is 2,75,000 plus 1.5 lakhs is 4,25,000, and this one. Okay, so this will be automatically calculated and it will appear under deductions. Under deductions. So here 5,80,000 is interest earned from bank deposits, bank accounts and deposits. Okay, so if you have any more items to be entered apart from section 80C and 80TTB, like 80G, if you have donated to donations to charitable institutions, you can add that information. I will just ignore it and then save the data what I have entered. So we have covered personal information, income from other source, income from various sources, and income from salary and all that stuff, and deductions. So deductions, we have section 80C, we have entered it. Now we are going to see some more deductions under section 80. So we went into the next page of more deductions. So section 80B is towards medical insurance premium paid by the SSE for securing medical insurance for his own medical, for his family pack, and for his parents. So if he has paid any premium for medical insurance, so enter the data. For self and family 25,000, for example. For parents, father and mother, some 55,000. Okay, you can enter whatever you have paid, but the software will take the limit, the maximum amount which is eligible for. Okay, any preventive health checkup you have, the SSC has done for himself, for his family, for his spouse and parents, you have to enter. Medical expenditure incurred by the SSC for the following categories: for self and family, for parents. So I am just ignoring it. And section 80E, any interest is paid on loan for higher studies. That data also should be entered. For example, I will just show 60,000. Section 80 CCC, contribution to pension plan. If the assessee has contributed to pension plan or annuity plan, enter it 1.5 lakhs. For example, 80 CCD, if he has contributed to ACC, 80 CCD, employees contribution to new pension scheme, some 50,000 rupees. and employees in 80cc D subsection C, employees contribution in NPS, employees contribution from 20,000 rupees. Just you have to keep on entering, and if you have any other special deductions, you can just click it. So I will click, and you will get some special. So for example, deduction for treatment of a specified disease, some 50,000 rupees. You can enter this data. 80EE interest on home loan, special category again, from 20,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees interest on home loan. This is separate, different from what we have entered earlier. This is section 80 double E. This is section 80 double EA, some 50,000 rupees example. Okay, I'm just taking all the examples. 80 double EB, some 20,000 rupees, and 80 QB, royalty received in books, on books, sorry, some 25,000 rupees. Section 80 RRB, income on patents, if any, then enter that, some 15,000 rupees. Section 80 GGC, contribution to the political parties, donation to the political parties by the assessee, some 25,000 rupees. So you got everything in this one. So this I will ignore. This also I will ignore and then save. So any deductions from 80C to 80U will be available. Now other deductions. So we have seen some more. We are going to see some more. Go to next. So I will just ignore it. Now this is the last part of our deductions, investment details. Okay, so any investments you have made as shown here, you can enter this data. I will just ignore and go to next. Now, which now we are uh, going to enter the details. The fourth stage, the first stage was personal information. The second stage was income from various sources. The third stage was phase was deductions from 80C to 80U, and now tax paid. If you have paid any taxes, for example, TDS on or TDS on interest, TDS on salary, TDS on uh, so and any other element. Okay, so all this data you have to enter, or it will be automatically appearing. For example, we have entered in the very beginning the amount of TDS which was deducted by the employer, 50,000 rupees, which was appearing on in part A of form 16 at the very beginning I showed. So it will be automatically coming. It will automatically pop up here. Okay, so this 50,000 rupees, you remember. Hope so. Or do you want me? Do you want me to show? I will show it. Okay, income from salary. Your salary. Drag it, and here you can see that you have entered 50,000 rupees. So that will automatically come here. Tax paid. How much was the tax already deducted? And if you have paid some more taxes, you can enter those details. TDS on salary, what which was deducted, non-salary TDS, TDS on the interest, and so on and so forth. So I will just ignore it and go to next. So so summary of tax paid, advance tax and self-assessment tax. If you paid it some advance tax, or already you paid some self-assessment tax, enter those details. So click on it and you will see. So if you have paid any, so you have to, if this is very important, if you have paid any tax to the bank, through the bank to the department, any advance tax or self-assessment tax, how much amount was paid, for example, what was the date on which it was paid, this data has to be entered, and the bank serial number, some code is to be entered. And if you want to know what is this code, just click on the sample, and the time when you're paying the amount of advance tax or self-assessment tax. Okay, a challan will be generated like this, the payment challan, and the payment details will be mentioned here. Also, you are able to see the challan number, the BSR code, the date on which the payment was received, the challan serial number for which assessment year. Okay, we will see this again at the end. Okay, so this data has to be entered, and now we save it. So as we have not paid anything, I'm just ignoring it. Okay, the field cannot be negative. Please enter it. Okay, so I will just ignore it. Now the last ones. Okay, go to next. Now this some more information. Now we are talking about the last phase or uh, section of our online submission of income tax returns, the tax filing. Okay, additional information needed for income tax returns, because see, if you are having some at the end, when we have calculated and found that there is an income tax to be refunded, now how will the income tax department refund to you? So here you have to mention your bank details, the various banks details you have to mention where you are having all the savings account and other related information. So you have to furnish Aadhaar card details. What is the Aadhaar card of the assessee? What is the primary bank? For example, where you want to see that your amount of refund is created. So that bank number, account number, IFC code number, bank name has to be provided. So these three details you have to provide. And if you are having some more savings bank account or any account, bank account number, you have to enter like Axis Bank account number, State Bank of India account number, IDBI Bank, their respective IFC codes, the respective bank account numbers, and what type of accounts are there, whether it is a savings bank account or a current account or otherwise. And finally, you have to furnish your mobile number and landline number if available, and then click on save. Now they will it will ask you for some more information. This information is more or less not relevant or related, but still I will just cover it. If you are owner and owning shares of an unlisted company, if you are a director of any company, so these details, yes, one of these conditions apply to me, then go to next. So, okay, so here, so tax, I will just ignore that and go to next, go to next. So this information also we have furnished, save it, go to next. And now look how beautiful it has calculated on its own the amount of tax you have to pay. Now from this information, the software of cleartax.in has automatically calculated 100% accurate, unbelievable, incredible software, and it is showing that you have to still pay 13 lakhs 18,220 as your income tax. You remember you purchased one building for 1 lakh rupees, who sold for 50 lakh rupees. That was the reason this amount, this much of amount of tax has to be paid. Now, how are you going to pay it? How are you going to pay it? So pay your tax due online and come back here. So you can pay online also, or if you don't have online facility of paying, click here. Okay, after you paid online, okay, then some information will be generated, and that information of how when did you pay, how much you paid, and all that stuff has to be entered by click here after you have paid the tax due. Now another way, if you don't have online, you can pay it by, if you look here, you can pay also, you can also pay your tax line offline using this pre-filled challan. So click on it, and you will get a challan which is automatically generated, which is generated uh, automatically generated. So I will not be able to show it, but it will automatically generate it. The software will automatically generate it. After you have paid either through offline or online, then once the moment you have paid it, click here after you have paid the tax dues. Okay, and it will go to the next page, which is add paid tax details. So add paid tax details, and here add entry. So here, what is the amount you have paid? For example, 14 lakhs you have paid. Example, okay, and other details you, okay. Then after you paid it, you have completed it, okay. Save, save, TDS. Go to next, go to next, save, okay. Go next. So I told you how to how to pay it online and offline, how you can generate the challan, and you fill the challan, your amount, your check number and all the details, and go and pay to bank, and the bank will show you the details, will furnish some details, and those details have to be entered. So click here after you paid the tax details. Just now I showed. So these details have to be entered after you pay the tax to the deposit, when you are deposited the tax in the bank. So you have to amount paid, on what date you have paid, and what is the BSR code number. If you want to know, click here. BSR code number will be here. BSR code number, which will, when you the bank through challan generator, they will all this challan number, BSR code number, return receipt. The bank will mention all the details, challan serial number, assessment year, bank reference, all that stuff. Okay, you are supposed to mention. You mention challan serial number. So challan serial now generated, challan serial number. Okay, it's taking some time. So challan serial. So challan serial number is there. This data also should be entered. This data also should be entered. So I think it's a very beautiful software, and it is very user friendly, and just you have to keep on adding it. And now the final stage has come. The final stage is tax filing. Okay, you should not click here because this is an example which I have taken. Okay, I will say tax filing. Let's see what going to happen. So here you got bank informations, bank information which we have already done. More information which we have already done. Okay, so go to next, go to next, and now look at the, now we will not do anything because this is now this is was an example, so we should not do anything. Now you want to know what data was entered. So name, date of birth, PAN card, assessment year, status of the report, of the return, original, residential status, and look here. So automatically it will generate ITR2 because this data income is related to ITR2. So now it is this is showing the summary of your income, the deductions, and the tax. So salary income, income from house property, long-term gain, long-term long-term loss. Sorry, long-term loss, long-term house property gains. So you remember 1 lakh house property was sold at 50 lakh rupees. Short-term gains from stock market, income from other source. You remember interest, dividend, and all that stuff. Gross total income 70 lakhs. Deductions. So we have entered some deductions from section 80C to 80U, and it is now qualifying qualified amount of deductions is 6 lakhs. So total income is 64 lakhs. Tax due is 13 lakhs. Tax paid is 13 lakhs. How much tax you have paid? 50,000. How much is interest and fees to be paid? 38,000. Now it is showing you 13 lakhs 18,000 as your tax payable, and exempt income is 12 and a half lakhs, which is we have to see what are those. And then if you want to look at the summary, you can click here and you can look at the summary. Okay, uh, and then lastly you have to file the returns. You have to file the, click on this, you will automatically file the returns once you have paid it. So hope this particular session is of immense pleasure, help to all of you. And this is a very, very critical user-friendly website, and you can take a lot of benefit out of this software of cleartax.in. And thank you so much for your patience listening, and hope so I will come up with some more videos on various topics of income tax and GST. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.